Arizona built its reputation on heat, dust, and predictable desert living. But that version of Arizona is incomplete, because hidden inside this state are towns where elk outnumber people, where entire communities operate without mainstream systems, and where housing decisions can quietly cost you thousands, or your sanity. This isn't travel content. This is a map of places most Americans don't realize exist. Alpine towns that feel like Montana, mining cities that turned into experimental art zones, border communities operating on their own rules, and one place that literally tried to simulate life on another planet. Some of these towns are affordable. Some are stable. Some are quietly breaking the rules of how American communities are supposed to function. And if you're thinking about relocating, retiring, or escaping rising housing costs, choosing the wrong one could be a mistake you don't recover from. Let's break it down. Over the past 5 years, Arizona has become one of the fastest-growing relocation states in America, driven by rising costs in California and Colorado, remote work flexibility, and the search for lower taxes and open space. But here's what most people miss. The migration isn't just flowing into Phoenix or Scottsdale. It's spreading outward, into smaller, overlooked towns where housing is cheaper, but infrastructure, jobs, and long-term stability are far less predictable. Some of these towns are undervalued opportunities. Others are lifestyle traps disguised as affordability, and the difference isn't obvious until you're already living there. Number 10. Greer. If you arrived in Greer without context, you'd assume you were in Colorado. Dense pine forests, snowfall measured in feet, not inches, and silence that feels almost unnatural. But this is Arizona. Population under 100. Elevation over 8,500 feet. This is where Arizona completely breaks its own identity. Reality check: jobs, almost non-existent outside tourism. Rentals, extremely limited. Infrastructure, minimal. Living here means trading convenience for isolation. You don't move to Greer, you commit to it. Number 9. Bisbee. Bisbee wasn't supposed to survive. Once a booming copper town, it collapsed when the mines shut down. But instead of dying, it transformed. Artists moved in, creatives took over, and the town rewrote its identity completely. Today, it's one of the most unconventional communities in the Southwest. Data: population, approximately 5,000. Cost of living, below national average. Economy: tourism, art, small business. But the real story isn't the numbers, it's the culture. This is a town where city meetings feel like performances, historic buildings double as studios, and traditional expectations don't apply. Trade-off: affordable living, in exchange for unpredictability. Number 8. Arivaca. Near the southern border, Arivaca operates differently from almost anywhere else in the U.S. population, under 700. This is a town built around independence, no large retail chains, minimal government reliance, and a strong focus on local systems. Reality: housing is cheap if you can find it. Jobs are self-created. Community involvement is not optional. You don't live here passively, you participate or you leave. Risk factor: isolation isn't just physical, it's structural. Number 7. Jerome. Jerome should not exist. Built into a mountainside, literally sinking at one point. This town was abandoned after its mining collapse. Then something unusual happened. People came back. Not investors, not corporations, artists. Today, population approximately 450. Home prices high due to scarcity. Economy, tourism, and heritage. But here's the catch: there's no room to expand, which means prices stay elevated, while infrastructure stays limited. Number 6. Oracle, the science experiment town. Oracle doesn't feel real, because part of it wasn't designed to be. This town is home to one of the most unusual projects in American history. A sealed ecosystem built to simulate life in isolation. Today, Oracle blends science, rural living, and a growing wave of retirees. Data: median home price, relatively affordable. Crime, low. Growth, slow but steady. But the real appeal is psychological. People move here to disconnect, without completely disappearing. Number 5. Page, the tourism dependency trap. Narration: the page exists because of infrastructure. originally built for dam workers. It evolved into a tourism hub. Now it sits at the center of some of the most photographed landscapes in America. Numbers: population, approximately 7,000. Housing, rising due to tourism demand. Economy, heavily dependent on visitors. That's the risk. When your economy depends on tourism, your stability depends on external demand. And in downturns, those towns feel it first. Number 4. Patagonia. Patagonia doesn't look like an opportunity, but that's exactly what makes it one. Small population, strong environmental focus, and growing appeal among remote workers and retirees. Trend: low density plus high lifestyle quality equals slow price growth. Not explosive, but stable. This is where wealth moves quietly. Number 3. Tubac. Tubac operates on preservation. Everything here is controlled. Architecture, development, even visual identity. That creates a unique economic effect. Limited supply, consistent demand, higher prices. This isn't organic growth. It's curated stability. Number 2. Globe. Globe is what most investors overlook. Older infrastructure, higher crime perception, limited job diversity, but also lower housing costs, historic character, and potential upside with remote work trends. This is a classic perception versus reality market, and those are the ones that move last, but sometimes the fastest. Number 1. Sedona. Sedona looks perfect. Red rock landscapes, clean air, global attention, but perfection comes at a cost. Numbers: median home price, extremely high. Cost of living, far above average. This isn't just a town, it's a brand, and you're paying for that brand every single month. Here's what's coming next. As migration continues, these smaller towns will face 3 pressures: housing compression. Limited supply will push prices up faster than expected. Infrastructure strain. Roads, healthcare, and services won't scale evenly. Cultural shifts. New residents will reshape communities, sometimes creating tension. The result? Some towns will evolve into high-value niches, others will stall or decline. And the difference will come down to one factor: sustainability, not environmental, economic. Arizona isn't one state. It's multiple realities layered together. Some offer opportunity, some offer escape, and some quietly demand trade-offs most people don't see coming. The challenge isn't finding a place that looks good, it's understanding what that place becomes over time. Because in these towns, what you don't see at first is usually what matters most.